Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with bout number 2, super welterweight, 7th featherweight contest over 4 3-minute rounds. Introducing, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with gold from Birmingham, weighing today 10 stones and 5 pounds, Sid Razak. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trimmed with white from Sheffield, weighing today 9 stones, 13 pounds, Scott Jenkins. 4 3 minutes.
So here we are, ready for action then, here in Sheffield, between local boy Scott Jenkins in the blue trunks against the experienced journeyman Sid Razak. Well known around these parts, of course, and bound to prove a tough test for the 20-year-old. Part of the Hatton promotion stable is Scott Jenkins. A lot thought of him, a lot expected probably as well. And he'll certainly learn a thing or two against Sid Razak. Jenkins with a busy start, that left jab, keeping the backhand high as well, parrying the advances of Sid Razak, who's had some success this year himself. Last one back in September against Damien Taggart. Did Sid Razak, obviously got a big losing record, but we've been pleased with that success and looking to trade a little bit with the youngster. Jenkins, the shorter of the two, getting those combinations in. Razak covering up and then coming back with some of his own. And just making Jenkins miss a couple of times there. Again, the Razak guard high up there, just giving the youngster something to work out how to get round it or through it. Razak looking to not just sit back and take punishment, he's prepared to throw some leather as well. Jenkins, a busy fighter. This is only his 3rd pro contest. Good left to the body there, going downstairs, varying his shots around a little bit. Good 2-3 jabs in a succession there from Jenkins. Razak though, giving as good as he's taking just at the moment. Covering up once more. Jenkins just with a few range finders. There's a big right hook that made contact on the side of Razak's head. Following up his good work is Jenkins. 4 3-minute rounds this, of course. Again, busy from Jenkins and certainly pushing the advantage home against Razak there and made him just take a step backwards, and then good left to the body again from Jenkins. Really mixing up his shots well. Ducks out of the swinging right of Razak and comes back inside. So impressive start then by Scott Jenkins, unleashing those combinations on Razak, who's stoically coming forward again. And again, triple jabs and then a big right hand again from Jenkins. Just about got through, maybe some of it parried by the left arm of Razak. And there's the bell to end round number 1. Encouraging start for young Scott Jenkins. 20, from Chesterfield originally, rather lives in Chesterfield now, born here in Sheffield though. So the second of 4 rounds scheduled here in Sheffield at the Doubletree by Hilton Hotel. And Scott Jenkins in the blue trunks, straight away the busier of the two. Good little combination to start. Getting both hands working well. Both his previous fights have been in the Steel City for Scott Jenkins. The first against Dan Carr earlier this year in June. There was a points victory over 4 rounds, and then he forced Steve Gethin to retire in 2 in September at the Ponds Forge Arena. So happy to entertain his home fans, but I'm sure he'll be moving farther afield next year and beyond. Jenkins though having to do a bit of defensive work there, but then coming back with those good combinations again. Tries a rather swinging haymaker right almost, it didn't make contact. Really nice upright style. Gets in, unloads his shots, gets out of harm's way again. Good left hook to the body again, following up the left-right combination. Really putting them together very fluently at the moment is Scott Jenkins. Razak showing him how it's done as well. It's not only the youngster who can put a decent combination together, but Jenkins just pushing that jab into Razak's face continually, keeping him at the sort of distance he wants, and then follows up with a big right hand and then the left hook to the body. Very fluent mover is Jenkins. And you can't say that Razak's an easy target to hit. He does take evasive action and is also prepared to trade, but he's taking some punishment there from the local boy. Come on, Scott, say the fans at ringside. Only a small venue this, but packed out to see the local boys, Scott Jenkins, and of course Adam Etches still to come on this show. Again, Jenkins, the busier by far of the two men. Certainly the Hatton stable and everyone around Scott Jenkins reckons he is a real prospect for future years. And now it's the learning process. We come to the end of the round. There's the bell. Another good one for young Scott Jenkins.
Round 3.
2 down, 2 to go. Scott Jenkins quickly back out again in the blue. Must be comfortably ahead, having won the first 2 rounds against Sid Razak, but for all that it's still been an entertaining bout. Razak, not one of those journeymen who just comes and doesn't give anything back, but at the moment he's got plenty to think about with the attacks of Scott Jenkins. Jenkins feints to throw the right, then chooses not to. Gets Razak back against the ropes. Razak just putting the jab out, being told to counter it is Jenkins. A little cuffing right hand there, just clips Razak on the head. Again, good work by Jenkins, getting in close, unloading and then getting out of harm's way. Referee Michael Alexander keeping a close eye on proceedings. There's a lovely combination work by Jenkins, and feints to throw the right, thinks twice about it. Another right hand that clips Razak. He just stooped a little bit. Now it's just getting a little more fearsome, and Razak just losing his cool a little bit as well and swinging somewhat wildly as Jenkins piled on the attack. And it's the pressure that Jenkins is applying that's really having the effect on Razak at the moment, just giving him no time to think of offensive moves of his own. Even when Razak comes in there, Jenkins prepared to move around, spray out the combinations and dig down to the body with a left hook. Razak's hands just dropping a little lower as he tires slightly in this 3rd round. Having said that, I'm sure he could go 6 or 8 if he needed to, but he's been given a thorough examination by Scott Jenkins here. Just holds on a little bit. Nice uppercut by Jenkins again. Gets through. And now Razak really has got his work cut out, just keeping him off him. And the round ends with Jenkins landing a right to the stomach of Sid Razak. And another round in the bank, you'd think, to the youngster.
Set up, fourth, final round.
3 minutes then between Scott Jenkins and his 3rd professional win. He's going to keep that unblemished record and confirm his potential for 2012 and beyond. Again, Jenkins busy. Razak's only response really is to flash out the jab. That hasn't had the effect of keeping Jenkins at bay in the previous 3 rounds, so no reason to believe it will in the final one. As indeed, in he steps again, throwing 3 and 4 punch combinations. Right hand over the top lands and then comes in with a left hook to the body. Going downstairs again. Razak sees it coming but can't do too much about it. And you have to say, thoroughly professional performance so far by Scott Jenkins, who did ship a left there on his way in. But his movement is good, is Jenkins. He's using the ring to his advantage, not being a static target. Just sways back out of the way there. Left hand looking a very potent weapon at the moment. Razak just Michael Alexander just separating them. No sign really that Razak's in any danger, but he's certainly coming off second best just at the moment, as Jenkins trying to up the pace in the closing moments of this bout. Goes low down on the belt and then throws a couple more. Razak now holding on. He'll be glad to hear the final bell, one suspects. And Jenkins probably just looking to try and get the stoppage victory if he can. But over a short distance, not easy to do it against such a durable opponent as Sid Razak. And jab, jab, left, right combinations. Big right hand in again from Jenkins. Hard to know just how much power he possesses in that punch, but Razak will be well qualified to tell us later, I suspect. Again, that's the impressive thing about Jenkins, is he's prepared to switch his area of attack smoothly from the head of Razak, then down to the body. And there is the bell to end it. And mutual respect, and not surprisingly, the hand of Scott Jenkins held up by referee Michael Alexander. So that's 3 wins out of 3 for the local youngster, and certainly impressed the crowd here in Sheffield tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 fantastic rounds, the referee scores the contest 40-36 in favour of the red corner, Scott Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for a great opponent, Sid Razak.